Hey everyone, it's me, Code1996, and today we're back with the Eureka FloorRover and the Hoover PowerDrive Pet upright vacuums. And today we're going to take a little review of the two cleaners after using them for about a week. I don't like this video. Hey everyone, it's me, Code1996, and today we are here with the Eureka FloorRover and the Hoover PowerDrive Pet upright vacuums, and we are going to be doing a little test against the two on some pretty dirty hard floors. And there's a lot of natural dirt, and I put down some rice on some area rugs and the rug in the living room. So we will see how well these two perform against each other. So let's get to cleaning. We've got to plug them in. Lifting the machines. The FloorRover is pretty heavy. It's not a really light machine. I'd say it's at least 20 pounds. And the Hoover, it's a little bit less. I'd say maybe about 18 pounds. But they're both pretty easy to pick up. The Hoover has a handle mounted differently than most other vacuums. Most vacuums have them mounted like this, but Hoover has it sideways like this, which actually makes it pretty easy to pick up and carry the vacuum differently than anyone else, which is really nice. And also to pick up the dirt bin like that. That's really just one, really easy to do. And you can see the dirt bin is very, very big in the Hoover. And the Eureka, you just pick it up like this, and it's not as big because the center cyclone portion is taking up more area than in the Hoover. You can see the size difference from the Eureka and the Hoover. And you can see the pre-motor filter on the Eureka. You can't see it visually in the Hoover. So let's put it right here. Although you can see the pre-motor filter right there in the actual machine, not on the dirt bin. To correct myself, you can see the pre-motor filter, just not on the dirt bin. So they both have sealed Hepa filters. The Hoover's is right here. You just put your hand down here and pull. There's your Hoover one. So that just goes on like this. And here's your Eureka right there. So I don't really want to take them out and unseal them how good sealed they are from the factory, because they look like they're sealed in good, so that's good. So they're both about the same size of the power head. You can see right here. They're both about the same size. Right there. So that's good. You can see they're both about the same width of the power head right here. I'll turn them like this right here, and you can see they're about exactly the same. You can see the size difference in the machines. Eureka has it so it can take the dirt directly from the floor and put it in the bin, or through the hose by just switching this here. Put that on the floor. There's the max on this, on the Eureka, and the max fill line on the Hoover is down here. It's a little bit low right there, but I'm pretty sure you could fill it up to about right here and it'd be fine. So I have, and it did okay. So this is the filter on the Hoover. Let's get out the light so you can see. That's the filter on the Hoover. It has some hair, a little bit of dirt. I have used this maybe 3 times within the last week. So that is the Hoover and the Eureka. I have used this twice. Just twice. That's the pre-motor filter. The secondary pre-motor filter. This is the first pre-motor filter. Just barely any dirt or dust on it. Just barely. Can't really see much. It all got trapped in the bin, which is nice. Alright. So, that is nice. The Hoover has a releasable wand. You hit this and the wand comes out and you can clean up high or down low, and it has a nice diameter. The Eureka does not have an extended wand, so if you want the extended wand, I would go for the Hoover. But if an extended wand is not that big of a deal for you, because you have this right here on the Eureka, and you can attach this 16-inch crevice tool, I believe. It might be longer than 16 inches, but I believe it's a 16-inch crevice tool. So then, you know, you don't have to bend down as much to do the cracks and crevices. But you still, that is all you get with the Eureka, which I'm sure if you go on Eureka.com, you could get an extension pole for this if you wanted to. So the tool goes back on here, like so. Alright, so let's get started with some rug cleaning videos. Alright, so we're going to use the Hoover and the Eureka to see which one of these picks up the best and agitates the best on this area rug, with full suction power and with half suction power. We're going to do half of it with full suction first, and then see how well it did, and then we're going to go half suction, just to represent if you didn't have another machine or someone else to hold the rug for you, so you can see how it would perform. We're going to do that on both sides. Okay, so the first one that we're going to use is the Hoover PowerDrive Pet, and we're going to use it on full suction for half of this to see how well it does. So we're going to make sure the vent is closed. It is closed. Alright, let's put it on. Here we go. We're going to go right down the middle. We're going to turn it on. Alright, so one pass and it did pretty good. So let's do the sides. Open the valve halfway, the suction valve halfway. Alright, so now let's see how it does. That rice. It did a pretty good job right there, you can see, because it didn't have the full suction power. A piece of rice got stuck right there. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, now we're going to use the Eureka FloorRover to see how this does. We're going to use it on full suction power to the start if we can. We'll see. Hopefully the GoPro doesn't fall down. So let's see how this performs. Oh, here we go. right here, you can see, you open this, and you can open it all the way. So for this carpet, I'm gonna open it about halfway right there. That's about half. So let's get this back. Oh. So let's turn it back on. Eureka. So now we're going to test the Hoover and the Eureka on this area rug, which is a thicker area rug than the previous one. Alright, so now we're going to use the Hoover on this side. We're going to try to do the same, about half with full suction, half without. So right now we're going to use full suction. Let's see how it does. You can see there was hardly any agitation, and it was battening down a lot. So now we're going to cut the airflow in half. And let's try this again. Alright, so for this test, we're going to do the same thing, full suction power, and then half suction power. Blockage. It's a good demonstration of cleaning a blockage. Alright. So we're just going to pull it out. It's just a little bit of duct tape. That wasn't hard at all. I just had to pull it out. I didn't want to record the whole thing and me getting it out, but all I had to do was just get it out. Alright, now we're going to use the Eureka FloorRover to do the same thing we just did with the Hoover. Alright, so let's take a look at what each of these machines were able to get out of these 3 rugs. So you can see this is the amount of dirt and dust, along with the rice that we were able to get out of these 3 carpets with the Hoover. Let's take a look at the Hoover's filter. And you can see the Hoover's filter is still relatively clean. Alright. Let's take a look at the Eureka. See, that's the amount of dirt and dust and hair we were able to get out with the Eureka, along with the rice. Alright. So let's go to our next testing area. Okay, just to put this in there, I am plugged into this socket over here in the hallway. So I am not sure how far this is, but you see the cord is pretty snug all the way. The Hoover is out of cord right here. The Eureka has this much more cord. That's about 6, maybe even more than 6 feet of cord, because I have it wrapped on the cord hook, so you could go even further if you wanted to. So the Eureka has a longer cord than the Hoover. That's an advantage for the Eureka. Alright, so for this next test, we're going to clean this carpet right here. We're going to do it on full power suction because I want full suction power on this rug. Alright, now we're going to use the Eureka FloorRover to clean up half of this mess. You can clearly see it agitating and picking up the dirt before it even gets to it. Let's get closer. Look at that. Let's do a quick pass forward and back right there. Look at that. Clean. So the popcorn kernels aren't getting probably because what's happening here is the airflow is coming from this side of the machine and not here. That's really weird. I don't know why it won't suck those up. We had to play with it like that. You saw what I did. That's what I had to do. So I don't know. That was weird. That was pretty weird. And immediately goes to the right. So it's like the brush roller is making the dirt go to the right. It's not making the dirt move towards where the airflow is. I'm trying to make one go this way. I think I got fucked up. So try to just collect the dirt from the left. Overlap with the right, clean with the left. The Eureka has a little bit of difficulty cleaning popcorn kernels. For some reason, the Eureka is having difficult cleaning popcorn kernels. I am not exactly sure why. So, it might be some design flaw with the brush roll or the airflow or something, but it had a trouble picking up the popcorn kernels, as you can see. So next, we are going to use the Hoover. Now we're going to use the Hoover. It's on full suction power. So, I don't know if you can see this, so I'm going to pick you up for a minute. Alright, so we are going to go over with the GoPro, stop recording. Alright, now we're going to go over with the Hoover to see how well this can do. So one pass forward, and you can see most of the rice, all but one piece was picked up, but you can see there's still some fine particles from the sand. So you can see right here, it has left quite a lot of sand off to this side right here where I have gone over. You can see that's just the first pass forward. So let's do the backwards pass. So the backwards pass, and you can see there's still quite a lot. You can see the line right here where I haven't cleaned. So all the way down, you can see where the sugar is. It's actually sugar to represent sand, to make it a little bit more visible. So let's finish off this job. One pass forward and back, and it has seemed to pick up quite a bit more of the sugar and rice. one thing the Hoover doesn't have a problem with is picking up popcorn kernels in the brush bar, but it does look like a couple of them have been snow plowed, whereas the Eureka did not snow plow any of the popcorn kernels. So let's take a look at these dirt bins to see what we have been able to pick up. So you can see right here, this is all of the dirt and sand and the rice that we were able to pick up. Right there, let's take a look at the filter. I like how you can see the filter from the outside on the Eureka. That's pretty neat. Let's lift this up. That it looks spotless. Let's lift this up. And that pretty much looks spotless. Barely any dust. No dirt, no hair, no rice in where the cyclone is. That is really good. So let's take a look at the Hoover. Let's get the Hoover out. So the Hoover, you can see there is quite a bit of hair and dirt and rice and popcorn, just like the Eureka. So let's take a look at the filter. You can see the filter looks about the same as it did before. There's a little bit more off to this side right here. Right there, there's a little bit more dirt. I don't know how you can see that. There's a little bit more. Not bad at all. So overall, these two machines do a pretty good job at cleaning your carpets. So now let's go see how well they perform on the hard floor. Okay, so there is the dirt from the Hoover on the right and the Eureka on the left. That is what we're about to use as the hard floor test, and I vacuumed out the dirt bins with the rainbow. So here we go. So first we're going to go over this with the Hoover. Suction inlet is closed, so there should be no air leakage. Let's turn this off. We're going to turn off the brush roll. Turn on brush roll. Here we go. You can see the Hoover is starting to blow dirt around. I don't like that. It's the one task order that, Alright, so what I can see here is the Hoover is getting a lot of the dirt stuck in the wind tunnel suction channel. So when I tilt it back like this, look at all the dirt that wasn't sucked up. Look at that. There's all the dirt that did not get sucked up by this Hoover. Why? Why did that not get sucked up by the Hoover? That is a lot of dirt right here. I mean, that's everything. It's like it didn't suck up anything. Let's try that again, because maybe something happened to the Hoover and it didn't do what it was supposed to. So let's try it again. Let's test the airflow. Airflow. It doesn't change pitch. You can feel airflow in here. I can feel the airflow. So there is airflow, it's all there. Let's go slow. Maybe you have to go slow over dirt to get it to pick up. So you can see it's starting to just push and pull my hair. I know this is big plastic hair. There we go. Pleasant to use this Hoover on the hard floors because all this right here just falls right out at the bottom. So hard floors, this Hoover is not coping well. Even with these large particles. Look at this. So hard floors, this Hoover is not doing a very good job. So let's test the Eureka to see how well the Eureka FloorRover does on hard floors compared to the Hoover PowerDrive pet. So we're going to turn it on, hit the brush roll. So here we go with the Eureka. Look at the Eureka. You can see it sucking up all of the dirt and stuff before I even mix it. Let's clean out some of the mess from the Hoover. So compared to the Hoover, the hair and stuff has gotten caught in the brush roll. Some of the lighter particles, but not compared to the Hoover. This Eureka has not left as much of the dirt and dust. So now we're going to try something else. So if, say, you have to pick up this mess because you accidentally emptied the dirt tank in the middle of your floor. So you have to clean up all of this dirt. So what you normally would do, I did it separate. I didn't turn on the brush roll. So now this is if you're going to turn on the brush roll. So first we're going to use it. You see it blow the dirt all around. We're going to go over, vacuum up some of there. Alright, so you can see, look at that dust flying in the air. It's all caught right there. So now what we're going to try to do is let's turn on the brush roll. Was spread it all at my feet. You can see right here, it all got spread at my feet. So now let's try the same thing, but let's use the Eureka. Alright, so we're going to try the same thing, but now we're going to use the Eureka FloorRover, the Eureka FloorRover. So you see it picking it all up. Let's clean out some of the Hoover stuff. I don't know how long we're going to leave it. So it's here. After cleaning this, we're going to take the brush roll and let's see You can hear it sucked up all the way. So now we're going to turn on the brush bar and see if anything gets picked out from behind. Nope. Nothing was picked out from behind. And I was able to clean out the brush roll. Therefore, nothing got caught at my feet. So, alright, so I hope you were able to decide which one of these machines would clean best in your home. In my personal opinion, I find the Eureka FloorRover is a much better vacuum cleaner than the Hoover PowerDrive Pet. The Hoover does have a bigger dirt bin than the Eureka, but the Eureka seems to have a better cyclone than the Hoover, being that the Hoover's pre-motor filter has already accumulated some dirt in the pre-motor filter, and the Eureka has not, as I can show you right now. You can see there's nothing on this filter here, and we're going to lift this up, and you can see there's not a single piece of hair on this filter, which is incredible. And even after vacuuming all of that dirt. So I personally like the Eureka FloorRover more than the Hoover. So if you would like to purchase either the Eureka FloorRover or the Hoover PowerDrive Pet, you can click their link in the description below. You can also click the link to my new Amazon influencers page, where you can go through these two machines and multiple cleaning products that I recommend on my new Amazon influencers page. Link to that will be in the description below. Code 1996. Thank you.